The Philippines, a land of warm smiles, turquoise waters, and promises of a simpler life. For decades, foreigners from around the world have arrived here, searching for paradise, cheaper living, new beginnings, or love in the islands. But what most don't realize is that beneath the postcard-perfect surface lies a far more complex, darker reality. One filled with challenges, risks, and truths that rarely make it into travel blogs. Today, we uncover the hidden side of being a foreigner in the Philippines. And what you're about to hear might change the way you see this country forever. No matter where you go, the market, the bus station, the small neighborhood street, you'll stand out. Being a foreigner is not something you can hide. Your skin color, your accent, your height, they all mark you as different. At first, this attention feels harmless. Locals may greet you with, "Hey Joe," or curious stares. But over time, the constant attention becomes draining. Some see you as exotic, others see you as wealthy, and others see you as a problem. You are always the outsider, no matter how long you live there. In many countries, equality is assumed. But here, the reality is different. A local may pay one price, a foreigner pays another. At the wet market, you may notice your vegetables cost slightly more. When you rent an apartment, the landlord might quote you a higher rate simply because of your nationality. Restaurants may add foreigner prices for tourists without you realizing. These double standards are rarely spoken about openly, but they exist everywhere. And over time, they remind you that you're not treated as one of them. Friendship in the Philippines can feel instant. Strangers invite you for meals, neighbors bring gifts, and coworkers call you friend within days. But here's the dark truth. Trust is far more complicated. Many foreigners struggle to tell who is genuine and who is motivated by something else. Money, gifts, or the chance at a better life. You may meet people who appear close, but when money enters the equation, the relationship changes instantly. It doesn't mean kindness isn't real. It means trust takes years, not weeks. And many foreigners learn this lesson the hard way. The Philippines is famous for romance. Thousands of foreigners marry Filipinas every year, drawn by beauty, warmth, and charm. But for every happy couple, there are countless stories of manipulation, betrayal, and heartbreak. Some foreigners fall into relationships too quickly, not realizing that money, visas, or escape from poverty were the real motivations. Others marry without understanding the deep cultural expectations that come with family obligations. It's a trap that has cost foreigners their savings, their freedom, and sometimes their lives. In the Philippines, money has weight. Even small amounts can change how people treat you. As a foreigner, the assumption is that you have plenty, even if you don't. This changes dynamics in relationships, friendships, and even business. A loan from a friend may never be returned. A simple act of generosity may turn into an endless stream of requests. What feels like kindness to you may create dependency for others. And once money becomes the foundation of a relationship, it almost never recovers. The law is not always on your side. If you get into an argument with a neighbor or a conflict with a business partner, you may find the system slow, expensive, and stacked against you. Court cases can drag on for years. Corruption and influence sometimes decide outcomes more than evidence. And as a foreigner, you will always be the outsider in the eyes of the law. This means one mistake, one dispute can destroy your life here. Living in the Philippines isn't as permanent as many imagine. Every stay depends on visas and extensions. The rules can change at any time, and the costs slowly add up. Overstaying can mean fines, detention, or deportation. And in some cases, a minor violation can put you on a blacklist, banning you from ever returning. Your freedom in paradise always comes with conditions. One of the hardest truths, foreigners cannot legally own land. Many fall into the trap of placing property under a local partner's name. At first, everything feels secure. But when relationships end or trust is broken, foreigners often lose everything. Entire life savings vanish overnight. This is one of the most common and most devastating realities that foreigners face. In cities like Manila or Cebu, healthcare can be excellent. But outside major areas, it's a different story. Hospitals may lack equipment, staff, or medication. Emergencies can turn tragic if help isn't nearby. Insurance may not cover the costs you expect. Some foreigners face bills they cannot pay. And in worst cases, lives are lost simply because the system could not provide in time. Healthcare is not something most think about until it's too late. While most Filipinos are kind and welcoming, crime against foreigners is real. From petty theft to scams, and in rare cases, violent crime, being different makes you a target. Some areas are safe, others are not. And without local knowledge, you may walk into danger without realizing it. Safety here requires constant awareness, something many foreigners underestimate. Yes, living in the Philippines can be cheaper than in the West. But cheap is relative. Imported goods are expensive. Electricity is among the highest in Asia. Internet can be unreliable. And as a foreigner, you may find yourself paying more than locals for the same services. Over time, the cheap life adds up and paradise no longer feels as affordable as promised. No matter how much you adapt, you're not Filipino. The language barrier, unspoken cultural rules, and values shaped by family, religion, and tradition can leave you feeling like an outsider. What makes sense in your culture may be offensive here, and misunderstandings often lead to frustration on both sides. It's a divide that never fully disappears. Scroll through YouTube or Instagram, and you'll see foreigners living their best life, island hopping, eating street food, and claiming to spend only $500 a month. What they don't show, the isolation, the scams, the legal headaches, the relationships that ended in disaster. The fantasy sells. The truth doesn't. And too many foreigners arrive, chasing a dream built on lies. Not everyone welcomes you. Some locals see you as competition for jobs, for women, or for land. Others resent your presence, believing foreigners drive up prices or take advantage of locals. This resentment is rarely spoken out loud, but it exists. And in certain moments, it shows itself in dangerous ways. From government offices to police checkpoints, corruption can shape daily life. As a foreigner, you may be asked to pay more. Not because you're guilty, but because you're assumed to have the ability. It's not always about fairness. It's about power. And here, power isn't always on your side. Surrounded by smiles, many foreigners still feel alone, far from family, disconnected from old friends, and never fully accepted in the community. Loneliness becomes a silent struggle. For some, it leads to depression. For others, it drives them out of the country altogether. Paradise can be beautiful and painfully lonely at the same time. Some foreigners arrive believing they can beat the system. They think they can outsmart local laws, navigate corruption, or play the game better than anyone else. But here's the truth. You will always be at a disadvantage. You don't control the laws. You don't control the land. You don't control the culture. The illusion of control is one of the most dangerous traps of all. When paradise turns dark, it turns fast. We've seen foreigners lose businesses overnight, lose families in bitter disputes, lose property to betrayal, and lose freedom in legal cases they never expected. For some, the dream ends not in sunshine, but in disaster. So what is the truth about being a foreigner in the Philippines? The country is beautiful. The people are warm. But paradise is complicated. It comes with risks, struggles, and realities most never prepare for. If you come here with open eyes, respecting the culture, protecting yourself, and understanding the risks, you can build a meaningful life. But if you come chasing only the dream, the dark truth will find you. The Philippines is not heaven. It's not hell. It's simply real life with all its beauty and all its shadows. If you understand that, you'll see the country for what it truly is. But if you don't, you might lose everything in the pursuit of a dream. This is the dark reality of being a foreigner in the Philippines. The Dark Truth. Subscribe for more untold stories.